Good morning, everybody. So I finally finished my little baby journal. If you backtrack to see when I posted when I first made this is the one that's all from packaging paper and an Amazon packing envelope, which I decided to turn into my little fairy themed journal. So from the outside, this is my first time to make these little charms. Don't know if I gave it justice, but it's the best that I can do in my learning process. So these are rolled up part of the packaging paper. There's two of them here, and then there's some that have charms, a ribbon here, butterfly, a heart that I think would kind of like blend in with fairy theme. And then there's the wood material. And so, like as you know, it becomes like a crocodile mouth. So I had to figure out how to shut it so that it doesn't flip open. So I was of course scouring YouTube, and this is the one that caught my attention. It's a ribbon belt closure where I did add some elastic here and some buttons. These are two buttons I sewed on top of each other. And so you can just take it off. Well, the lady that I copied said you can glue it in the back, but because I have some details here that I created, I didn't want to overshadow these details. So that's what I have in the back. And this is in the front. A little bow. Here we go. Here's our flip through. There is some printed paper. And then this is what I did with that little shadow box or something. I just stuck what do you call this? Some stickers. Most of these designs or decorations here are sticker because it was just too small and it's so hard to make pages with scrapbook paper that it'll make it thicker and harder to close even more. So that's that. There's that. I don't know if you can read the quotes that I chose. And then here's some fairy house entry by a tree. I love that. And then that is a top pocket, so here's a little bookmark. Oops, here's a little bookmark. Sorry, I tend to slouch when I sit down, so I lose focus on the camera. So there's that. These are all cutouts from scrapbook paper. This is from a sticker book. And then here's what I did with this page. I don't know if it's too busy that you lose the images. And then here's a little pocket with the butterflies, and I have some ephemera again of fairy quotes and some little papers that you can write on. Obviously, you can write on in the back of this. I'm still waiting for you guys to comment on my projects. Being a newbie, I'm sorry if you can hear the engine revving in the background. My neighbors can get obnoxious with their vehicles, so if it's not the motorcycle, it's big trucks. So I don't know. It's Saturday. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. And this is that, something that I wrote. A fairy's whisper is softer than the breeze that carries more truth than thunder. So that's the back side of it. Isn't that cute? And then for this busy background, this is what I did. I stamped some papers here and glued it here as well. And then this is one piece, so I just split it between the page and put some more cutouts and some paper that you can write in. I need you guys to comment on my project so I can do better. I feel like I still have a long, long way to go getting better at this. So that's that. Oh, this is upside down. And then there's again another fairy theme insert here. Stickers. And then here's a belt with again, shoot for the moon even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Not cute. True. And that's just a little writing piece there. This one I also stamped. I tell you, my fine motor skills are really bad as I aged. Of course, I had the frozen thumbs problem a while back, so it's a little harder for me to pinch and do little grips or grasping at stuff. So that's that. I just taped part of the ephemera, mushroom ephemera, and then inserted some little writing stuff. Maybe I should put this backwards so that it's not all too white. And then this one will have, this journal has a lot more pockets than normal. So writing stuff here, I should have stamped the other side too. We'll insert, again, another stamped paper, rubber stamp paper. And then this, for this thing here, I undid a paper bag handle. So it gave that little creased or ruffled or however you call this. And I thought it was so cute. And then here's another ephemera that I taped or I glued partly and then just did these inserts. Same with that one, carrying the mushroom themed page. And then here's this page, the woodlands where the elves live. So that's their village. Here's the parading elves. Some elves playing. And then again, another pocket here. With some inserts for writing stuff. And I think this is one of my favorite pages. So I have this key with a keyhole where when you open this, there's a peekaboo kind of thing. But obviously you have to flip the page to see the other side of the page where it's all just fairies hanging out. I need to tape this somewhere. It's popping up. And in their little homes, different kinds of homes, fairy houses. And then there was never a merry world since the fairies left off dancing, except this little girl fairy here. She was left behind. And then here's another stamp paper that I just glued as a pocket with some inserts, and I also stamped this bee just as a detail for the page. And then here's that part of the soapbox that I was talking about. I made what do you call this? A pocket out of it. And that's how the pocket looks like. With some more inserts. Don't know if I'm doing too many inserts here. You guys need to let me know. And then on top of that, I created a top loading pocket and then just inserted that on that side. And on this side, I did like a folded pocket. Okay. And these writing stuff. Maybe I should do it this way. And then here's another page with another pocket that I stamped. And I forgot what paper this is. Not all who wander are lost. And then just some stick on. And then here, it's kind of like plain on. This is kind of like, I didn't know if I was supposed to glue it here, leave it like that, and just, you can use this also as a writing spot. So I just stuck it here, undecided. But technically, this is a pocket. This is a pocket where I have insert again and a folded up piece of paper to write on. By the way, anything I make here, if you guys want it, I can send them to you. I'm just doing this for doing it. I'm not really like into business or whatever. It's just for my artistic experience or exploring. And then this is also one of my favorite pages. Be filled with wonder. The way to read a fairy tale is to throw yourself in. And here's another fairy. It's a cutout from a scrapbook paper. Oh, I think I stuck that there. And then that's an insert. I have to unstick that there. I think I glued it down because I was fixing the page. And then here's another cutout that I turned to a belly band. With some inserts here for more writing stuff. Space. And then here is another of that busy paper. So I just did it this way. And then this is another piece of the paper bag handle, like the gift bags. And then some inserts. Some tags. A little bookmark or tag. You can use it as a bookmark. Some stamped images. And then here as well, turn this into a little pocket, a baby pocket. And then some inserts. So with that, I think I should have cut this down a little further because now it's kind of hard to pull out this little piece of paper there for writing. But it can be a secret pocket. See if I can push that all the way in. And then here's my explosion of stickers. With that, there are fairies in the garden, so I try to put as many fairies as I can on a page, on a baby page. So that's a little hard to do. And then here we go. And here. And here. I exist as I am, that is enough. It's probably a good favorite saying of mine. And then the back side of that soapbox, that's how I decorated them. I put a little fairy there, like a peekaboo kind of thing, and then more inserts. And then this, I just left it as is, so you can write on it. And this is the back page. back pocket. Why is that creased now? For the back page, and then this is a little insert, and then I made a little notebook with coffee dyed paper that I did. I don't know, look, you can see that I didn't really cover all the areas of the paper, but I think that's a good detailed part of it. Just goes in there. And you've seen the back side of this. And so that's it. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I need your comments. Thank you. Bye.